Hey guys, it's been a while. I wanted to give you some updates on what's been going on with me. First, I got my bachelor degree. Well, before that, 2 years before that, got my associate's degree right there from Richland Community College. I majored in psychology. However, I took just as many sociology classes as I took psychology classes. And then I got my bachelor degree right here, Bachelor of Science. The first one, my associate's, was an associate in arts. This one is a Bachelor of Science, again in psychology. And then I minored in criminal justice, so I got my criminal justice certificate here. And I'm about ready to start my master's degree in clinical counseling through Northwestern University, which is up in Chicago. I'm going to be doing the online courses. And starting next spring, I'll be doing my clinicals, which means I'll start seeing patients under a supervisor. Something else I wanted to talk about is that I recently learned that I'm on the autism spectrum. If you look back at a lot of my older videos on my other channels and everything, you can see some signs, physical signs of my autism. That's such as, like, a lot of my older videos, I don't know what to do with my hands. So I'm constantly doing this, messing with my hands and everything. Right now, I'm holding the microphone, and so I can put my other hand in my pocket. I'm a little bit more comfortable, relaxed, you know. Other signs that you'll likely see or hear in my older videos are the way I talk. A lot of hesitation in between what I'm saying, because it takes my brain a little bit of time to process what I'm saying, as well as all the things that are going around me. So I'm really learning more about that. As a psychology major, I'm familiar with autism, but I'm not super knowledgeable. It was just like a chapter in my textbooks. So I'm learning more about that. And how I discovered I was autistic was how most people who spend most of their lives going undiagnosed eventually realize they're autistic. And that's through videos. I started seeing, well, let me take you back. I suspected that I might be on the spectrum about 5 years ago. And I talked to my wife a little bit about it, but she didn't think I was, but again, she wasn't as knowledgeable about it. And so we just kind of left it. Neither one of us was knowledgeable about it, so we left it and everything. And then I realized I had borderline personality disorder, which comes from a lot of my childhood trauma, adolescent trauma, stuff like that. And then a little over a month ago or so, probably more than a month ago really, I began seeing some videos pop up on YouTube. That autistic guy from Australia, started watching some of his videos, and some of the things he said really resonated with me. And so I started watching more videos, not just from him, but from other channels, and they started resonating with me, and more videos, started watching more TikToks about the subject. And then I decided to take the online self-assessments, all the professional quality assessments that actual diagnosticians use when assessing for autism. It came back that I was likely on the spectrum. More than likely, actually, which I'll go ahead and show you some of the results here. Probably have them like right over here. I screenshotted them from my phone. But with that, I started reading up in my DSM-5 some of the criteria and everything. And then I started to remember that when I was in 5th grade, I had a psych eval done at school. And so that led to me trying to track down that psych evaluation, which I managed to. Let me grab that real quick. Right here. Pretty thick eval. But I went to the school, school district for the school I attended in all the way up through junior high. I switched school districts right before high school, and they tracked down the psych eval for me, made a copy of it and gave it to me. So I read through it, and everything in that psych eval points to autism. Had we known as much that we do now back then when I was in school, I would have likely been diagnosed with autism. As it is, we didn't know enough. The criteria for diagnosing autism changed so much over the years. Autism wasn't even officially entered into the DSM until 1980. I was born in 83. This evaluation was done in 1994. So everything I read in there, and I highlighted a bunch of stuff in it, would have, had we known what we know now back then, I would have been diagnosed with autism. And it's level 1 autism. It's not like level 2 or level 3 where I need like a lot of support. And the type of support I need is just kind of understanding. And patience, which is something everybody needs, really. Another thing I found in that paperwork was that my teachers and the psychologist were basically blaming me for being bullied, which was very excruciating to read. You know, they were basically telling me it was my fault that I was being bullied and that I needed to take responsibility for that. And which is something common among those on the spectrum. So on my SM Cornthwaite channel here on YouTube, I'm going to be doing more mental health videos, talking about autism, my autistic journey, my BPD journey, my experience with reactive attachment disorder, my experience with bullying, stuff like that. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, head on over to that channel, SM Cornthwaite. It has my initials SMC and a quill pen stylized as the channel image. It was going to be for my books, which I will still continue to make videos on. I've got 6 books already, which should have been another sign that I was on the spectrum, because while I was in my last year of my associate's degree, I wrote 3 books in 1 year. Then my first year of my bachelor's degree, I wrote another 3 books. One of those books was a 600-page novel, horror novel. The first year, I wrote Jack the Ripper, The Man Behind the Blade, which was my true crime novel. True crime book. Required a ton of research that I'd been doing on and off since I was a freshman in high school. Along with that, I wrote Hollow Screams Day of the Dolls and Hollow Screams Ghost House, which are children's horror books. And then, first year of my bachelor's, I wrote The Haunting of Hell's Hollow, Tales from Hell's Hollow, and Hollow Screams The Haunted Skateboard. So that should have been another kind of dead giveaway that I was on the spectrum, that I managed to write 6 books while obtaining 2 degrees, which most people struggle with just getting a degree, let alone working. But there's that. I did retire from lawn care. I found out I had a lot of health problems. Found out I'm allergic to grass. So that kind of put an end to my lawn care business. I had operated for 10 years. So now I'm a full-time student, author, and just doing videos. Both my kids just went back to school. My son had been homeschooled since the COVID shutdown. He's finally returning back to public school now. Yesterday was his first day, and my daughter's been back to school ever since schools reopened from the shutdown. We left it up to them, made it their choice and everything. Something else I do is usually when it's not a heat wave out, I'm in our garage working out. I've got a pretty decent workout routine, home gym set up now and everything. I'll probably do some more workout videos and stuff like that on here. I'm not sure entirely. I really don't know where this channel is headed. I think it's just kind of going to be a catch-all almost. A lifestyle type channel. I know sorry, I had a call on my phone. I know when I started it out, I was doing equipment reviews, and then I started posting my lawn care videos on there, and then my workout videos and other kind of videos and stuff. And now I think it's just going to be a lawn care channel. I've currently got 4 channels I'm actively working on right now. This channel, my SM Cornthwaite channel, my Comic-Gen TV channel, which is all things geek culture, comic books, TV, movies, stuff like that, and then my Psych Macabre channel, which is true crime related, true crime and paranormal related. So head on over there. I'll leave links in the description, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm looking for something to do right now. I was going to put in my application to be a substitute teacher while I'm working on my master's degree. I found out, though, as I was getting the ball rolling on that here in Illinois, substitute teaching license is close to $200, which is absolutely ridiculous. We currently have a teacher shortage. And that's not just regular teachers, that's substitute teachers too. And I now see why. If a substitute teaching license is $200 almost, I can only imagine what a regular teaching license is. And the sub-license is for 5 years. And they don't tell you it's $200 right up front. They basically hit you with these fees as you're going through the process. Like the first one is, it's about $50 just to get the license, another $50 to register the license, then you have to pay for the background check, and then you have to pay to have your official transcripts sent over to the regional office and the Illinois State Board of Education. And so I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to do that, if I'm even going to be able to still do that, because here, ever since the start of summer, really, we've had some financial problems that are getting resolved slowly, but we went to the Indiana 500, or Indianapolis 500, back in, I think it was May. And as we were going into Carmel, we had planned on staying the weekend. As we were on the 31 ramp into Carmel, our brand new vehicle, well, brand new to us, Nissan Pathfinder, completely lost power on the ramp. And freaked me out. That should have been another sign that I was autistic right there, was how I reacted, which you can find out more about. Go to my TikTok. You can watch the videos of me talking about that. But we had just gotten the battery replaced. We had taken the vehicle into Neil Tire before we even left town, and told them specifically to check the alternator. And they said, oh, it's just the battery. So they replaced the battery. Well, when we got to Carmel, as we're on the ramp, complete power loss, and had it towed. We ended up taking Ubers and taxis and stuff the rest of the time, and we had to stay an extra night because it was a holiday weekend, Memorial Day, I believe. Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. So we had to stay an extra night, and that Tuesday, first thing in the morning, we called up the garage that we had it taken to, told them what was going on with it, and so they checked it out. Turned out it was the alternator. $2,000 to replace. I don't understand why Nissan buries the alternator like they do, because the alternator itself doesn't cost a whole lot at all. You have to practically remove most of the engine in order to get to it. So it was about $2,000 to replace. And so a friend of mine, my best friend, came and picked us up, drove us all the way back home. It took us about a month to get the money together to collect our vehicle. So we drove all the way back to Indianapolis, picked up the vehicle, and then came all the way back and made it fine. It was great. And then a couple weeks after that, we had major storm, tornadoes hit all around us and everything. So a bunch of big branches fell, completely destroyed our pool that we had just put in last summer actually. 1 year and 4 days to the day is how long it lasted us. And we're gonna have to get a new water heater because we got a thing from our homeowners insurance to take pictures of everything, and I don't know why they didn't do that when we first bought the place, but whatever. It's been close to 4 years, 3 years now, almost 4 years, and they're just now wanting pictures. Find out that our water heater was too old, apparently, and so they want us to replace it in order to retain coverage. So we got to do that now. And it's just piling on, one right after the other, right after the other. So I really wanted to get back to work in order to start bringing in money, because my book sales aren't doing that well. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it is what it is. Hopefully, some of you guys watching these videos will head on over to Amazon and buy some of the books. That'd be nice. Spent a lot of time working on them. I got something for kids, something for adults, and something for YA. I was really looking forward to, there's this position that was supposed to be opening up through my school that I went to for my bachelor's, through the Criminal Justice Department in restorative justice, which I was trained in while working on my criminal justice certificate. And I've been keeping an eye out. It sounded like it was going to be the perfect job for me and everything, and it hasn't come open yet. I've been checking handshake.com or .org, whatever it is, and LinkedIn, waiting for the posting so that I can apply. Hasn't come through yet, so then I was going to do the substitute teacher, and come to find out it's close to $200 to do that. So keep having to push that application back. So now I'm stuck. I'm just going to upload a shit ton of videos and work on my books. I start back to school next month on my master's. And of course, once I start seeing clients, that's something I won't get paid for. It's an internship. I'll have to do that for 2 years. And my master's program is 2 years. And then I'll be able to do another 2 years of internship full-time. And I think that's when I'll get my license, or I'll have to double check on that and everything. But my plan is, once I get my license and everything, I want to open up my own practice. I want to specialize in trauma and trauma disorders and autism. Because when I found out that I was likely on the autism spectrum, called around, I couldn't find a single therapist around here who worked with adults. They only work with children. And that's one of the problems that adults run into, is we can't receive a diagnosis officially without a specialist. And all the specialists work with children. Now, you get into some of the bigger areas like Chicago, St. Louis and stuff like that, yeah. But we're like 3 hours away from that. So I want to open up my practice here. And a lot of therapists refuse to work with people with personality disorders because there's a lot of misconceptions about them, a lot of stigma around personality disorders, all at the fault of the mental health industry. So I want to help people with that, and attachment disorders, which the latter two, personality disorders and attachment disorders, falls under the umbrella of trauma. So yeah, that's what I want to specialize in, and I would like to kind of be a counselor or psychologist that works at schools as well. Not a school therapist or a school counselor or school psychologist, but a psychologist who works at schools. Kind of like a subcontractor type deal. Because I didn't have that support when I was a kid, and I was bullied severely, like tortured. And I want to kind of provide that for kids who are going through the same thing. So I think that's where where I'm heading career-wise. I just got to get to that point, because after I do my 2 years school plus 2 years supervised, I need to do another. If I get my PsyD after my master's, I'm likely looking at another year of schooling. If I do a PhD, then I'm looking at another 2 years of schooling, plus internships after that. So it's going to be quite a bit. But I'm dedicated. I've already, I dropped out of school at midway through my senior year because I was so far behind on credits, because of where my mental health was due to all the trauma I experienced in childhood and everything. And then I became a tattoo artist in my 20s. 30s, I owned my own lawn care business, started a family. I earned my degrees and everything. So I've accomplished a lot. And I turned 40 back in March. And I'm pretty sure that I can have my doctorate by the time I'm 50. I'm just going to have to continue to work hard at it, and go from there. So anyway, yeah, this has been a long video. I don't think I'm going to edit it at all. Like I said, this channel is just going to be a catch-all, a lifestyle type channel, something where I can just talk to you guys about what's going on in my life, show you some videos. Maybe I'll continue showing you some videos of me mowing the yard, doing landscaping, gardening, stuff like that. Show you guys some of me working on my books, so yeah, if that sounds like something you're interested in and you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. So take care, guys.